Starting with our next lecture of automata theory. In this lecture, we are going to cover why we need to convert a given NFA to equivalent DFA and the process for the same. But before this lecture, you must have reviewed the introduction of NFA and some of the examples of NFA that we have covered in lecture number 7. Now starting with the lecture, some of the applications of finite automata from lecture 2 are designing of lexical analyzer for the compiler, for various text editors and spell checkers, for recognition of pattern using regular expression that we have done in all the examples, and for the designing of reactive combinational sequential circuits like control circuits of the computer. So, for the implementation of applications of finite automata, we need to construct the transition diagrams. Like here, we have this transition diagram for the identification of identifier names, as our first requirement is that first symbol cannot be a digit. So, if a digit encounters at initial state, we are moving the transition to the dead state. Otherwise, we are at the final state for any of the minimum one symbol received from the initial state, and later on any number of alphabets and the digits and underscores are acceptable by the machine as the identifier name. So this machine is actually the compiler. Or we can construct the same diagram in short way like this. Like for integers, we have from initial state any constant to be declared as an integer constant, we need at least one digit. So from initial state, after receiving one digit, we are moving to the final state, and further on all the digits received are the part of the same integer constant. Same way for identifier, as we have covered over here, we are writing the input set as A to Z, lowercase a to z, digits from 0 to 9, but we can write them in short like L for letters and D for digits. So any letter received over here, and after that, after the initial letter, we can receive any letters and digit. We can also have the self loop for an underscore over here. Next, for the another application for the identification of keywords and other words like if, then, and, else, or any other word can be detected using the DFAs in compilers. So this is a transition diagram for the keyword identification, and as we are having so many keywords in the compiler, so we are having more transition diagrams or more DFAs programming for all the keywords. So these are the application of DFA for compilers. Next, we have some of the application for the text editors like the identification of different words, and the spell checkers can show the errors if no corresponding path is identified for any of the word. Like if we are going from initial state as hers, so if we write only H, here the blue states are final state, means they are identifying something, they are identifying a word. So from the initial state, if we write only H, we are at a non-final state, and this word is not the part of the dictionary. So the editor or spell checker will show the error for the same. Now, why we need to convert a given NFA to DFA? Okay, for example, I am taking this example from the last slide. For example, if I have to identify a word her by the compiler or by any text editor, then from the string, so our given string is her, and from the her we are reading the input symbol by symbol, means for the string of length 3, we will be reading this character 3 times. First for H, next character for E and next character for R. So we are reading this the symbols of the string one by one, and for every stage, means we are not going to implement this transition diagram. We have to write programming corresponding to each and every state of the transition diagram. Like at the state Q naught, we can have the coding like, if the character is H, only then move to state Q1. Okay, same way at Q1 we are having programming like, if the next received character is E, only then move to state Q2. Okay, same way at the state Q2 we are having programming for the or we are having a check for the received input must be the R. If the character is R, then go to state Q3, and once we are at Q3 means we have identified the word her. So it is clear from this description that only DFAs are going to be implemented, means these transition diagrams are not understandable by the computer. Ultimately we have to write code or program for the each and every conditions from the by using ifs and character checks for each input symbol received. So while we are implementing this in this DFAs, suppose if we are having a NFA instead of DFA, we are having a NFA instead of DFA, then let's suppose we are having another transition for input symbol H from the initial state to any other state that can be Q4. Okay, then in that case we cannot write the program. Okay, if we required, suppose we need to identify the word his. Okay, so in case of in case of DFA, we are going to have transition from this side, means if the symbol received is not E but I, then the transition should go to a next path or another path from Q1. But in case of NFA, as we can have multiple transitions for the single input symbol from any state. Okay, so suppose we are having two transitions of H from the Q naught. If we are having NFA, then we would not be able to write the program or code for the same, because for at a state we cannot write code. If character is H, go to this and also follow the same path, that is going to Q4. So programmatically this is not possible for the implementation. But yes, if we had the DFA instead of this NFA, and we are if we are having transitions for H from Q1 to state Q4, means we are not having this transition. Sorry, this should not be H, this should be I, because we have covered H over here. H, we can for the symbol word his, H is received from Q naught. Now we have to mark transition for the next symbol, that is I, and from that I we can move to another state for the check of S. So now in case of DFA, we can have the programming like at Q1, if the character is E, then move to state Q4, or else if the character is I, then move to state Q4. Okay, so only DFAs are going to implement. We are working with NFAs because NFAs are easier to construct than DFA. So once the problem statement or any of the regular expression is given, we can construct the NFAs easily, but later on for implementation we have to convert the NFA to equivalent DFA, as the only DFAs can be implemented using the programming language, any of the programming language. I hope the purpose of converting NFA to DFA is clear to you. Now coming to the conversion process. For this we are taking the example from the last or previous lecture number 7. NFA for strings ending with 0, 1, 1, or for regular expression, this means all the strings ending with 0, 1, 1, we need to construct a DFA. Let's suppose our target is to convert the construct the DFA, but we are as for DFA we have to mark transition for each and every state, means we have to look for each and every prospects of transitions. So as NFAs are easier to construct, at first step we are converting this regular expression to equivalent NFA. Then for implementation we are going to convert NFA to DFA. Okay, so as it is clear from the regular expression, here star indicates 0 or more symbols, means 0 or more symbol received here must be ending with the 0, 1, 1. Means ending pattern is 0, 1, 1. Whatever we receive before this is acceptable. Okay, so instead of constructing DFA we are going to construct NFAs, because NFAs are easier to construct. Why we have taken this, this is the same example from the lecture number 7. If the example is not clear to you, please go through the lecture. So here we are having two transitions for the input symbol 0 at Q0, and so this is the clear cut NFA, and we have not defined the transition from Q1, Q2 and Q3, means we have not completed the state as it is a NFA. So starting with the NFA, this is the equivalent transition diagram for the same transition table for the same transition diagram. So these two notations are representing same information. We can use any of these two notation to represent a NFA or to present a NFA. After this, the tuples of NFAs are defined. Okay, means in states, input symbol, transition table, initial state, final state, etc. So after that, for implementation of this, we have to convert it into the equivalent DFA, and we name the DFA as M dash. The tuples of regarding the tuples of DFA we will be discussing in the next slide. So our requirement is to convert this NFA to DFA, but we have to keep a check that the language of both machines, means once we have constructed the NFA and converting the NFA to equivalent M dash, that is DFA, the condition should be this condition should be met, means language of both the machines of M and of M dash should be same. By language here we means the set of acceptable strings by NFA is must be the set of acceptable string for the M dash, means both machines should accept the same strings and should reject the same strings. Means working of both should be same and the power of NFA and DFA are same. So the language of a machine means the string that NFA is going to accept should be same for the DFA, means DFA should accept or react similar to the NFA for all the strings like the NFA machine. So taking a review of the tuples of the machines for NFA and DFA. So NFA is named as M and DFA is named as M dash over here. You can use any notation for the names of these machines like M1, M2. The tuples of NFAs are Q, set of states Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3, as we are having 4 states in the transition diagram. Next, input symbols are zeros and 1. Q0 is the initial state and F is a final state, and we are having only one final state in this case as Q3. Next, for the DFA machine, that is M dash, we can say that for m dash input symbols, transitions for the transition function for the m is defined with this table, transition table. Now coming to the DFA, m dash, two tuples that are input symbols and initial state. So these two tuples are same as NFA. That's why we have named them as NFA, only sigma and only q naught. Okay, but rest of the tuples are going to be different in case for the DFA machine. So we have named them as q dash, transition function dash, and f dash. So these tuples are not going to be same as a NFA. Okay, but in some cases they may we can there might be the cases where we have the same tuples, same number of states and same transition function and same final states. Okay, but that is not the case for all the cases. For DFA, the set of states is a subset of the power set of states of NFA. Here we are taking power set of NFA, that is 2 raised to power q. So one thing must be clear here, if we are having 4 states in NFA, like here we have 4 states in NFA, then the equivalent DFA can have 2 raised to power 4 states. Okay, so number of states, maximum number of states for a equivalent DFA can be 2 raised to power q. Okay, next, the set of final state is also subset of power set of states of NFA. Okay, so as we are having the states of DFA from this power set, and any of the states from this set can be the final state. So we are having both as subset of power set of NFA. Okay, this thing will be clear to you when we start with the example. Starting with the conversion process of a given NFA to DFA. As we have already discussed the NFA for this regular expression for strings ending with 0, 1, 1. Now we have to find out the DFA for the same. So to work with the conversion process, it is always easy to work with the NFA transition table. So here we have taken the transition table from the same example from the last slide for the strings ending with 0, 1, 1. So now we are going to convert this NFA's transition table to DFA equivalent DFA transition table. For this we have defined the DFA with name m dash and the same input symbols. Q naught is the same initial state as NFA, but now we have to work or find out the set of states for the equivalent DFA. Means we have to find out the Q dash, this set, that is the subset of power set of states of NFA. Next we have also to find we need to find out the set of final states for the equivalent DFA, that is also subset of the power set of states of given NFA. So as we have 4 states in NFA, Q0, Q1, Q2 and Q3. So possible states in DFA are 2 raised to power 4 or 16. Okay, so power set means DFA is going to have the states from the power set of states of NFA. So there are total of 16 possible options of states for the equivalent DFA. Means maximum possible states for DFA can be 16, but we can have less number of states or from 4 to 16 in after converting the NFA. So initial state is same for the NFA and DFA. If the initial state is same, then the transitions must be same. So here we can take the same transition from the NFA table to DFA. But here you can notice one difference, that in case of NFA, as the transition function maps input state and given input symbol to another set of states, means here the set is having Q0 and Q1, as from Q0 transition of 0 is going to two states Q0 and Q1. But in case of DFA, we cannot use this set notation. We have to write these states, these sets in the form of square bracket, means these square brackets are representing a single state, not the set. Okay, so while writing this, we have to convert all the possible power sets of NFA to states. We have to write all the sets in the square bracket form. Okay, so as initial state is same, now we have to work with other states, other possible states for the resulting DFA. Now the process is going to be like, we have to identify every new state and then we have to complete every new state that is identified. Okay, by completion means we have to find out the transitions for the state. So as initial state was Q0, we had identified the transitions as, for 0 it is going to this state, and for 1 this is going to the state Q0. Here we can say that Q0 is identified or the same state as an FA here, but this state is a new state. Means, by new means we have not completed this state, or we have not considered this state earlier. So now we have to mark the transitions for this state. Okay, so here the next state of DFA is going to be Q0 and Q1. Now we have to find out the transitions for this state. Okay, and in the process of conversion, if we encounter any new state, then we have to write that state in the as a DFA states here. As if it is also a new state, then we have to write the state here, and then the process of completing these states. So this is a complete process or complete algorithm. As always identify a new state and write the state with present state in first column, and then find out the transitions for that state. Okay, so this is the complete process. Means we have to repeat this process until we are having any of the new state. Okay, and please consider these newly identified state in the sequence of their identification, otherwise you can miss any of the state. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule to identify to consider the states in sequence, but otherwise there are chances of that you can miss any of the states. So we supposed to consider the state in sequence of their appearing. Okay, starting with the completion process of states and identification of new states. As the new state identified, first new state identified here is as Q0 and Q1. Now we have to find out the transitions for this state for input symbol 0 and for input symbol 1. Okay, so for identification of transition, we have to look back to the NFA table and then write the equivalent transitions or equivalent state over here. So the process is going to be like this. As we have to find the transition for state having two states, that is Q0 and Q1, then we have to have a look for these states in the NFA table. Okay, for the transition of same input symbol. Suppose we are working with 0, we have to find the transition for 0 input symbol first, then from NFA table we have to look for 0th transition for transition of these two states for input symbol 0. Okay, as we are having the transitions for 0, from Q0 to this state and from Q1 to this state. So we have to consider this and also this. So the resulting states will be Q0, resulting set Q0, Q1 and nothing. Okay, as Q1 is having transition to no state over here, so the resulting state is this, and we can avoid this, means we need not to write this. So the resulting state comprises of only two states, Q0 and Q1. So in DFA table we can write the transition as Q0 Q1. Same way, now we have to find out the transition for input symbol 1 from the state Q0 Q1. So looking into the NFA table, we have transition to Q0, and from Q1 we are having transition to Q2. Okay, so be careful, we have to see the transition, or we have to check the transition for the same input symbol for which we are finding the transitions in DFA table. So here, looking into these transitions, we are getting Q0 from this transition and Q2 from this transition of input symbol 1. So the resulting state comprises of two states, Q0 and Q2. So we can write the same over here. Okay, we have to repeat this process until we are having any of the new state. Now checking the states that are resulted by these transitions. First state is Q0 Q1, that is not a new state, we have already considered it, but the new state encountered here is Q0 and Q2. Now we have to consider this state and we have to find out the transitions for both the input symbols, means we have to complete this state now. Now this state is complete, Q0 was complete, and now we have to complete this state. In the completion process of this state, now look into the NFA table for the transitions of Q0 and Q2 for 0. As we are having, again we are having Q0 is going to Q0 and Q1, but Q2 is having no state. So we can write here the resulting set as Q0 Q1. Okay, next, for the transition of input symbol 1 from this state Q0 Q2, we are moving, look into the NFA's transition table. For Q0 we are having Q0 over here, and for Q2 for input symbol 1 we are having the Q3. So now these two states are going to be the part of transitions for input symbol 1 in DFA table. So from Q0 we are moving to state Q0 for 1, and from Q2 we are moving to state Q3. So here is the resulting state in the table as Q0 and Q3. Now the new state encountered here is, which is the new state? Q0 Q3. As we have already covered this state and all other state. Now the newly encountered state is Q0 Q3. We have to write this state as a present state, and we have to find the transitions for this state for input symbol 0 and 1. So working with this state, as Q0 is again having the transition, Q3 is having no transition for 0 and no transition for 1. Here we are having both the blanks over here. So we can say that now we need to consider the Q0 only for these transition groups. As Q0 is having transition to the same Q0 Q1, so we can write the same over here. As Q3 is having no transition, so the Q0 set are going to be the part of the table, this table row. So Q0, from Q0 for input symbol 0 we are moving to state Q0 Q1, and same is going to be the transition for input symbol 0 from this new state, and for 1 we are moving to Q0, and the same set will be here as a state in DFA. So this is the transition. Now we are completed with the process. All the transitions are identified for DFA, and the new sets are Q0, Q0, Q1, third state is Q0, Q2, and the fourth state is Q0, Q3. Okay, so this is the complete DFA for the NFA. Next, finding out the final states. So in the resulting states of DFA, all those states, all the states having the final state of Q3, all those sets will be the final state of DFA, as we have 4 states over here, and out of these 4 states only this state is having Q3 as one set, one state. So only this state will be the final state of resulting DFA. Clear? If we are if we were having Q3 here and Q3 also here, then these would be these are also the final states for the resulting DFA. But now we are having Q3 only in this state, only in this set, so only this state will be marked as a final state of resulting DFA. So identified sets are Q0, second state, third state, and the fourth state, and the final set F dash, set of final states, comprises of only one state, Q0 and Q3. Okay, don't get confused with these two states. This is only one state here, and this is representing one state of DFA. This is representing one state of DFA. As NFA is having sets, so these sets are converted to equivalent states in DFA. Next, we need to draw the transition diagram. This is the resulting DFA table from the last slide. So equivalent transition diagram is, as we can easily draw the transition diagram from the table, because they both represent the same, both notation represent the same information, means transitions or mapping of present state to any other state for the present input symbol. So from Q0 we are moving to state Q0, Q1 for input symbol 0, and we are moving to state 1, Q0 for input symbol 1. So here are the transitions for the same. I hope these transitions are clear to you. And next, for the next state Q0, Q1, we are having a self loop of 0, and for 1 we are moving to the next state. Here are the transitions. From this state we are having a transition to the previous state Q0, Q1 for 0, and transition to the next state Q0, Q3 for input symbol 1. Next, from Q0, Q3 for 0 we are moving back to the initial state, because we have, if you have attended the last lecture, means for 0, if we encounter the 0 after 0, 1, 1, after this pattern if we encounter a 0 symbol, then we have to restart the complete pattern. Okay, sorry, not the complete pattern, we need 2 more ones for the ending constraint. So we and this is the state from where we are getting 2 ones. So for 0 we need to move back to this state. Okay, but if we receive another 1 after this, after 0, 1, 1, if we receive another 1, then the pattern is going to be like this: 0, 1, 1. Then if we receive another 1, the pattern is no more according to the constraints. So now on getting a 1, we need to repeat the complete pattern again, means we need again the complete ending constraint 0, 1, 1 for acceptance, and only the Q0 is the state from where we can get the complete pattern. So from Q0 and Q3, or the final state, we are moving back to the initial state on for the input symbol 1. Okay, I hope the we have already the detailed description of this DFA is already covered in previous lecture. If you are not understanding it, please go through all the previous lectures. In some of our further lectures, we are going to cover the DFA construction questions for the divisibility patterns, means DFA for binary string divisible by some number, DFA for decimal string divisible by any number, or the DFA for strings from any of the number system divisible by 3, 4, 5, 6, any of the number. So how we can construct these DFAs, we will be practicing from the next lecture. And these questions are very easy because there is a small trick, and by that trick we can solve all these questions easily. And also these are important from exam point of view, because every exam comprises of 1 or 2 questions of such type always.